are in Tampere, Finland, between a game Ilves and Tappara, and you are watching Post to Post.
Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the KHL in Russia and a few other countries around that area.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some drama because there's potential that the KHL is corrupt. Now, no offense to anyone in Russia or anyone fan of the KHL, but I'm not really surprised. There's some corruption within Russia as a country, and it looks like it's potentially bled into the KHL.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not saying all this is factual. We don't know. There's a huge story right now. We're going to talk about it specifically from a reporter out of Russia. He explained everything on Twitter in like a 31 thread tweet or something like that. So I've informed you of this. You've read through the tweet.
I have.
And you're going to go through it a little bit here with us, and we can discuss it.
I'll read it mostly word for word, but I might skip some things just for editorial cleanliness.
And I'm going to follow along.
His name is Slava Malamud, and he bills himself as Twitter's official Russian sports writer. And he has 19,500 followers on Twitter. So
not bad.
He's not just some guy in his basement. The tweets that he put out go back to March 7th of this year.
Yep.
So we're a couple of days prior to the filming here. So he says as follows. So here's what's happening in the KHL. For those who still can't quite grasp the banality of evil, Russian style, the entire league has been set up this year to allow SKA to win. That's one of the teams in the KHL. It's Putin's team. This is Putin's election year. It's chock full of OAR, Olympic athletes from Russia, Olympians. SKA is allowed to ignore the salary cap. Its payroll is 6 times that of an average team. It has dibs on every star who considers the KHL. Most of its players are rabid Putin supporters who took part in his campaign rally last week. I repeat, SKA must win. It's not an option. There is a slight possibility of a loss if the opponent is CSKA, owning to the Moscow team's legacy and the patriotic value of their potential victory. But it's a small chance. Putin wants SKA, and SKA it shall be. The KHL even has an official explanation for this, and it goes like this. Allowing all the best players to concentrate in one team has created unique chemistry that transitioned seamlessly to the Olympic squad. Making the KHL season easy for them has safeguarded against injuries and bad morale. That is why we won the gold. Yes, the KHL isn't even denying that the entire 2017-2018 season is fake. They are simply claiming that sacrificing it for the national team's success is totally worth it. For the honor of the motherland. They are citing the Soviet model when the domestic league was also a sham. However, there is a problem. In the first round of the playoffs, SKA has drawn Severstal Sharapovets. This is not a problem because Severstal is a strong opponent. Not at all. It's an eternal minnow, which has been bad for so long the league is considering contraction. In other words, kicking them out.
Yep.
And this is precisely the problem. Severstal has nothing to lose and nothing to fear. If they bow out to SKA easily, it will prove the league's case and the axe will swing. Giving SKA trouble may at least create enough of a scandal to make the league reconsider. Severstal is exactly in the same position as the Charleston Chiefs from Slapshot, trying to stave off the seemingly inevitable demise by being a big story. Even Putin's potential wrath isn't a deterrent. There is also the fact that it's totally unfair to contract Severstal. Yes, it's a struggling team with bad finances, but it's had an incredible season, all things considered. Its fans are amazing. Sharapovets is basically Hamilton, moved way up north and stripped of all the famous Hamilton charm. It's steel mills, hockey, and frozen wasteland. So this brave little team from a hockey-mad industrial deathscape is being fed into SKA's maw as a playoff appetizer, and it's totally refusing to go down easy. If this wasn't Russia, where evil always wins, and it would have been Hoosiers, Miracle, and Bad News Bears all in one. But this is absolutely Russia, so this is what transpires. As SKA, most of its roster badly hung over after Putin's big election bash the day before, is about to lose Game 1, the refs reach for their whistles and blow hard. The penalty minute count is 24-0 in favor of SKA.
That's unbelievable.
SKA finally connects on the power play to go up 3-2, only to see Severstal tie it in the last minute. No problem, though. The refs give SKA 2 more power plays in overtime until they finally score. In Game 2, Severstal keeps it close for a while until eventually succumbing. But in Game 3, with home fans going nuts, Severstal is giving SKA all it can handle. Now, one would think the refs would give this one to the host just to make things plausible, and at least the penalty minute count is even this time, but the pesky underdogs take it to overtime again. And in overtime, he then shows a video from the game where clearly the puck exits the blue line before a slap shot by an SKA player to win the game. It's obvious.
Yeah.
The referees even went to video review. The puck in the video is literally this far outside the blue line, yet they call it a good goal.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
You'll notice the rather obvious case of offside. The Severstal coach, a cynical, sarcastic dude whose interviews are borderline subversive and make it obvious that everyone knows what's going on, challenged the goal. The play was reviewed. The replay officials saw exactly what you just saw. In this case, if you'd watched the video on the tweet, they conferred for several minutes, the verdict being a good goal. Forget even trying to make this look plausible. Just give it to SKA. Better get Severstal out of the way quickly.
Yeah.
The above video was posted by Severstal's official Twitter account. The word winning in game-winning goal was in parentheses because it ended up it was not the game-winning goal, really. This again is what is in the open. Everyone knows what's going on. Everyone and nothing can change. Putin's pleasure and the motherland's honor are what counts. SKA must win, it's the priority, but the last frame of Severstal's little protest video declares hockey is more important. In today's Russia, this is as big of an anti-Putin protest as one can be allowed. And he goes on to talk, maybe just not to belabor the thing, he goes on to talk about how not every player on SKA is maybe in on this, like Pavel Datsuk, for instance.
Yeah.
He's kind of caught up in this. He's on the team, but he's not a big Putin guy.
Right.
So it's not everybody, but the fix is in by the look of this report. And again, we're not watching KHL stuff here. If I was watching the KHL and had been following the league all season, I'd be rather upset.
Yeah, I mean,
Rather
having
upset.
one team that has an unlimited cap and all the rest of the teams having a cap, that's unbelievable. That would be like the NHL head office, which is in New York City, saying, okay, well, we want the Rangers to win this year because they're in the same city as us. Rangers have no cap this year. Like, that's what it would be like, almost.
Yep.
And I can't even imagine that. Like, that, how would that be allowed? Like, the NHL would be just torn to pieces by the fans, by the media, by everyone.
It would be a joke.
It would be an absolute joke. They would lose millions and millions and millions of dollars from fans boycotting games, not buying merchandise, everything. So.
And now, when you see the lengths that the league is going to rig the playoffs to have them win, now you see the level of importance for the Russian players to win the gold in the Olympics. Just think of the shame. After all of this, the entire league was engineered to create an Olympic gold medal team, and they almost didn't win the gold
They almost
against Germany. Right?
It's unbelievable, really.
Wow. So that's how close it came to a few people disappearing in the night, if you know what I mean.
It's very possible.
Like, who knows? We have, again, not to get politics too deeply into this, but we do know that people who are not overly supportive of Putin end up having bad things happen to them. And
it's a little more than a coincidence at this point. So
yeah. Anyway,
I'm not going to say anything bad about him.
No, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Great horseman.
Yeah,
and looks great with no shirt.
Great horseman.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great chest.
Looks
I love his
lovely.
pectoral muscles are amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Now, you could probably argue, if you go back far enough, even in the NHL, back into the 1940s, 1950s, 1920s, that there were similar deals to give advantages to certain teams. People, knowing I'm a Montreal fan, always tell me about, Montreal had first crack at all the players out of Quebec, for years and years. Nobody else could draft them. Montreal found a way to get those players on their team. That may all be true for all I know. but hey, it helped my team, so I really don't care. No, just kidding. I just think it's bad. It makes sport look bad.
Mm-hmm.
It makes Russia look bad. If you've got to put all these ringers on one team and
Still need to con the refs
yeah,
to, like,
that's the thing.
clearly.
If you put all the ringers on one team, that's great. If you blow the salary cap up for that one team, that's great. But then you still have to, like you say, you still have to cheat in their favor to help them win. What's wrong here?
Yeah, it's wild. So,
Oops.
in my opinion, the KHL is corrupt based on this. I mean, how just the fact that one team doesn't have a salary cap and the rest do is all the reason I need to think that the KHL is corrupt.
If the tweet is true,
Legitimate.
if the facts in the tweet are true, then I totally agree. Again, we're reading from Twitter. There's been the occasional bit of fake news on Twitter, but
Little bit.
this doesn't look like it.
No, it's more than him that's reporting this.
If this is fake news, it's well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we thought we'd have a little conversation. I know probably the majority of you actually don't even watch the KHL and have never watched the KHL and likely don't even care. But it's good to have the conversation anyway because we like to talk about all hockey, all leagues. We've talked about over 50 leagues now on the channel. So
Yeah.
that's
And
something we're proud of.
I haven't been watching the KHL this season. I watched a few games and watched a few results early on to see how Markov was going to do.
Yep.
Playing for his team, and he has done, I think, fairly well as an individual because I'm a big liker of Andrei Markov over the years. But now that this story is blazing, if it ends up being an SKA versus CSKA final, I'm going to follow it very closely, and I know who I'm going to be cheering for, and it won't be SKA.
Well, aren't they playing them right now? Oh no, they're playing Severstal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So let us know what you think below in the comments section. Curious to know your thoughts. How do you feel about this story? Do you think it's corrupt? Do you think it's not corrupt? Definitely let us know. If you're new here, hope you can hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Adios.